Good morning, everyone. I'm Aaron Burnett.
And I'm John Clement, and this is CNN. Today is July 26, 1941, and it is a wonderful day for China indeed.
The United States has just announced that it would be placing an oil and scrap metal embargo on Japan. As you know, the Japanese have committed several atrocities against our people, including their capture of our capital, Nanjing, in which hundreds of thousands of innocent Chinese were slaughtered. Furthermore, their crafty staging of the Mukden incident to create justification for invading our Manchuria is a prime example of their slimy, dark nature. Their bombing of Shanghai effectively started the Second Sino-Japanese War as well.
They have torn apart the peace that the KMT and the Communists had worked so hard to establish. After many years of civil strife, we were finally able to come to peace, but the militaristic greed of the Japanese has wedged a gap between us. And the fighting has now returned, weakening our front against the Japanese.
For this reason, we need this harsh embargo, which deprives Japan of 90% of its oil and half of its scrap metal. Just recently, Great Britain and the Dutch East Indies have also withheld their resources from Japan, only increasing the Japanese burden. Hopefully, Japan's now restricted overseas trade will cripple it to the point of non-violence. If that doesn't work, they only need to remember that without the US, they only have enough oil to support themselves for 3 more years. If they engage in imperialistic endeavors, trying to conquer the entire Pacific, that span will be reduced by more than half, almost guaranteeing that they will no longer be a threat.
The U.S. has been nothing but helpful since Japan first invaded Manchuria by swiftly punishing and criticizing the Japanese for the attack, prompting them to leave the League of Nations. What's more, they have helped our people cripple the Japanese forces, especially their navy. We would have otherwise remained in a dangerous spot, maintaining an unindustrialized, untrained army in the face of a very mechanized Japanese.
Hopefully, this embargo will help the Japanese see the errors of their ruthless, imperialistic ways, and all of Asia can rest easy knowing that Japan will no longer seek to dominate the Pacific. We are thankful and honored to have the bold Americans to help us in our struggle against the barbaric Japanese. Hopefully, these measures will serve to prevent another great war, especially in this day and age that is so very tired of fighting.
Now we turn to our international correspondent, Dr. Sunray Gupta, for his analysis of various statistics and media that have recently been brought to light.
This is a Chinese World War II propaganda poster. The rough English translation of the Chinese characters on the left means "back to arms." It depicts a Chinese soldier saluting to the Chinese Air Force. The purpose is to influence civilians to join the Chinese Air Force in order to make a strong backbone for the Chinese military against the invading Japanese. The image that you are now seeing depicts Chinese civilians who have been killed after a Japanese bombing on a Chinese city. In World War II, everything became a target, including civilians. Nothing and no one was off limits in World War II. This photo was taken after a Chinese espionage mission in order to discover Japanese army locations. They traversed for days with little food and water, but found information that was critical to a Chinese military victory. This pie chart shows the percentage of total military deaths taken by the Allied forces. Most people in today's society believe that a majority of the fighting was done in Western nations. However, this chart proves that many deaths occurred in the eastern half as well as in the western.
Back to CNN. I'm your host, Mao Zhao, and today we have a special guest right next to me, the great General Chiang Kai-shek. Welcome, General. Thank you for being here, taking the time out of your busy schedule.
Oh, no, the pleasure is all mine. Thank you for having me here.
You were part of this group called the Kuomintang, yes?
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about what it is?
The KMT, which is what we like to call it, is the Chinese Nationalist Party. It was founded by Sun Yat-sen shortly after the Xinhai Revolution.
Is it true that you had a bad relationship with the Communist Party?
Well, it's not like we have a bad one, but it's not like we have a great one either. We're just two different parties with different political ideas.
Come on, do you really expect us to believe that? We know, we have sources and other interviewers and other reporters that are telling us that you two would like to rip each other's throat off.
But even with our differences, we still made a temporary truce with them when Japan invaded us.
Yes, we were actually just going to hit you with some questions about Japan. Can you tell us about the invasion of Japan, please?
Yes, these are dark times, and our soldiers were fighting bravely against the Japanese. But with their military superiority, unfortunately, they beat us. We had absolutely no idea they were invading us, and they invaded without any warning. This caused the Second Sino-Japanese War.
What exactly happened?
It was very unfair for the Japanese to come and attack us when we had done them no harm at all. In fact, we are much more superior to them because they have their culture is completely derived from ours, and they have no right to attack us as well. They might think they're some representative or leading power of Asia, but when in fact we are. They might be a leading industrial power right now, but give us our chance and we'll be easily to overtake them.
A few of our viewers want to ask you some questions. Would you like me to ask them?
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
Many of our viewers believe that the ending of the dynastic cycle in China has caused chaos and disrupted order throughout the world, and this has led to the attack by Japan and will cause other similar disasters. Do you think this is true?
Of course not. That's ridiculous. It's the Japanese's fault who have attacked us. We have done no wrong. It is completely their fault and by no fault of China's.
Also, our viewers want to know, what is the point of all this fighting?
Well, as you can see, Japan tried to imitate the Europeans and industrialize. And by doing so, they became more greedy and they want more resources. As a result, they attacked China, a very rich nation.
Can you describe in detail the conflict that is happening now?
Well, this war started in 1937 and is between us, the Republic of China, and them, Japan. The US and Soviet Union are also supporting us as well, understandably. Many millions of people have died in this battle, and it has cost many lives, innocent lives. Most of the people who died are young men between the age of 18 and 26. Fathers had to bury their sons, wives had to bury their husbands.
That's all the time we have today. Thank you for being here with us.
The pleasure's all mine.
And I wish you good luck. Tune in next week, folks, and we'll have another special guest, Joseph Fallon.